G'day everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now look, I've got a couple of absolute stars of the audiophile industry right here with me to interview for the channel. Now we have Alasdair. Alasdair is from dCS. You probably remember him from last year. And we've got something very, very special to talk about this year. And of course, now I don't know if you recognise the family resemblance here, but last year we spoke to his father, and now we've got the young blood. This is the future for Gryphon Audio. This is Alex, and Alex is here to talk to us about all things that are Gryphon Audio. Yeah. So let's go. Alasdair, tell us what you've brought to the show this year and what you want to talk to us about.
So in our room, Alex and I have been running something that's a new product from dCS. We call it the DAC X, which has been an interesting project. We last year when we talked on camera, I brought with me the DAC,
yes,
which was everything that we do in terms of converter, streaming technologies, power supply and power supply management condensed down into one chassis.
That's right.
We had a lot of feedback from the market that as technically advanced as it was, people prefer the form factor of full size. We thought it would be not very dCS of us if we just came back with where it's exactly the same but a little bit bigger. So we took the advantage to make some revisions, make some improvements with mechanical design.
Okay.
So the transformer, which used to sit just underneath
the
Class A amplifier, that's now been sectioned out. It's entirely housed in a machined out section of alley, so noise has been pushed down even further.
Yeah.
We added a physical volume control to the front as well. You wouldn't believe how many meetings there were to establish knob feel is really important.
It's very important.
It's a very tactile part of the product, and if you had the opportunity to have a play with it, it feels great.
Well, I must go up there and have a play with the knob. That is something that I will definitely do before they pack it all away on me. No, it is important, it's very important. Now, that's interesting. Now, I've been listening to that DAC up in the room over the course of the weekend. Now, with that DAC, we've got, now I'm a bit of a Wilson fan, I've got Alexias in my system, and you have the Sabrina X there, which, I mean, look, nobody here is really doing anything for Wilson, but you are the surrogate, aren't you, for Wilson at the moment? You're the stand-in guy, it would seem.
We, I think all of the Wilson team, they're titans. So I think the two of us make for one David Ellington, who unfortunately couldn't be here. The Sabrina upstairs is actually the Sabrina V.
Yes, the new V series material.
One.
Yeah.
So that is serial number 1. Upstairs.
Oh, is it really?
They are the first Vs. So
wow, Nigel's pulled some strings, has he?
He certainly has. So I think it's one of those products where this is now the 3rd iteration of Sabrina. You wonder how much more can you eke out of the cabinet that size. But with the work they've done with the new material and the crossover work, it's tremendous. So we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, it's a very inert cabinet because I mean I've heard you rapping on it, and I've gone up and had a bit of a rap on it as well. And that V material is very, very inert. So what I'm hearing in the room is just a sense of calm and transient explosion. So when something big happens, there's nothing pulling those drivers back from portraying that into the room. And that's a very big room you guys are working in, and they are having no problem whatsoever filling that room up. I was standing in the back of the room just before waiting for you guys to finish, and I was on there with Shazamming some of those tracks as well, so I can go home and have a listen in my system after.
You have to let me know how it compares with the Alexias.
We will definitely do that for sure. But so you've got those in there, and also we've got this man, and he's here to talk about the 333.
Yeah. I think you played the 333 last year as well.
Yes,
right?
Your dad was here with the 333, but I want to hear what you've got to say about it.
What have I got to say? It's compact, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
50.6 kilos or something like that. So it is heavy and it's a beast. It's huge.
What Gryphon product is not a beast?
Exactly. And it's the smallest one, right? Of the amps.
Correct.
So it is a bit of a crazy product.
Yep.
But like all the things we have done over the years, for example, Apex, the biggest of them all, 200 kilos, 225 watts, Class A. It is what a beast. But we have taken a lot of that technology and transistors and so on, and put it in this little box, small box. If you
Small
would say.
better than little,
Yeah,
I think. But
exactly.
anyway, yep.
And have that technology breathe,
Yeah.
and it's incredible.
It is incredible. You've had some great song selections too this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Now I know Alasdair's been driving that side of things, but I know some of those tracks are your selections. And your dad put me onto a. He told me that he listens to this track with you and him in the car when you drive into work. And I can't think of the name of it, but he gave it to me. I went home. It's a drum track. It's
Numa. Tool.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I play that at home. So in my room I've got Alexia's with a Wilson Watchdog subwoofer in there as well, and that is percussive. Let me tell you, when you walk out of the room listening to that at volume, you are dizzy.
Yeah, you get dizzy.
It is
yes.
a great track. So I think that there's a common thread between you and your dad when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Very much
And
so.
I know he'll be
Very
watching
much
this, and I look forward to seeing you soon, Runa, when I get over to Europe. So that will be very good. But now, tell us a little bit more. Now, the one thing that I do want to talk to you about is Varèse.
Yes.
So tell me, because it's up in the room, I've shot it. You guys have seen some video of me shooting all of those boxes, and I get a little bit weak at the knees, I've got to tell you, when I see that thing there. I haven't heard it. I'm looking forward to hearing it. I'm a bit of a DAC guy. I love my DACs, but I haven't heard that one yet, and I probably think it's going to wreck me.
We're going to have a couple of really interesting evenings over the next week or so,
Yeah.
where we'll be taking out to Miranda Hi-Fi
Yes.
in Canberra.
Yep.
So where we've had, I think we've achieved a great sound upstairs, but the room's enormous.
It is.
It's not the right place to listen to
Agreed.
Apex,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
listen to Varèse. It's not the right place for a pair of whams.
Yeah.
So we're going to have coders. We're going to be treated to, I might be giving something away there that we weren't meant to tell people. But
You heard it here first on the channel, folks.
But we're going to have some appropriate equipment, partnering, complementary equipment to show people what the Varèse is actually capable of. And
Like we do in the room.
Exactly.
We're talking about Sabrina V's, Diablo 333,
Yep.
and then the Line X, right? That's the same level.
Absolutely.
And then we
but
move
they're
up.
complementary, aren't they?
Yeah, they are very much
well
so.
said. Well said. And I agree with you that what Nigel and the team have done down there, they have paired products that work in harmony with each other.
Very
That
much
is
so.
clear to hear when you're in the room. I've been going in and out of that room quite a bit, like I did last year when your dad was here. And just hearing what was going on in the room. Now, there were separate rooms. This is a bit of a difficult year this year because there literally are 4 systems on each wall of that dirty, great big cube that is a room. And you're trying to get something that's coherent and fills the room and engages the listeners. And that's difficult. But look, I looked at that room and I thought, before any sound came out of any of those systems, and I thought, I don't know how this is going to go, to be quite honest. But let me tell you, folks, if you weren't here, even if you were here, you would understand that there are some great products in that room, and they all worked. What you get is synergy. I recorded a Frank Sinatra track yesterday, sitting in the front with the Martins and the Lynn system, and that's doing very well on my channel because people can hear that sweetness in the harmony that is the analog sound. But what we get with what you guys are supporting us at this show this year with is percussive detail and engagement, and you feel like you're not listening to the music, you're in the music. Hard to do in a room like that.
Well, you've said it a few times. We keep bumping into each other. So when we travel,
Yes.
we share distribution in a lot of territories.
Yeah.
Because people appreciate that the two brands
Yeah,
go
work.
hand in hand. Likewise with Wilson,
Yep.
we've got Nordost up there as the
Correct.
cables.
Yep, great
so
cables.
We're forever. It's us and Bjorn and
Yeah, Bjorn. I must talk to Bjorn at some point too, if I can get hold of him, because we do need to talk a little bit about cables. I know there's a lot of deniers out there, but they make a difference, folks. My community definitely know they do, and but we must do that as well. But yeah, look, I had a Diablo 300. Loved it, and I've heard the Apex Commander combination several times now, and a big fan of. I know your dad's promised me he'll take me around the factory, so I'm looking forward to getting over there one day and doing that. and having a look. I'm a real fan of both of these brands, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I dragged these two down here and said I want to talk to you both, because I'm very excited about what Gryphon Audio do, and I'm very excited about what dCS does. So that was awesome. So tell me a little bit more, Alasdair, about Varèse.
I would love to. So it was moderately frustrating last year because we weren't quite ready. And we couldn't talk about any of it, and we couldn't show people what we'd done.
Yep.
We were at the end of a 6-year development cycle.
Wow.
But David's the managing director at dCS. David had done David's thing where he slaps down the gauntlet and he says, right, team, the best.
Oh,
what would you like? Don't care, the best.
The best.
So 6 years, and the R&D spend was just over 20 million Aussie dollars.
Wow.
So it's
that's impressive.
And you asked what's on the table in front of us. This is something I've been travelling around with. This is a lot of rejected metalwork that we decided wasn't appropriate for something that's $500,000 Australian dollars. Not good enough for someone's house, but plenty good enough for me to show people what we've been busy doing.
Yep.
The Lena that I took apart on the video last year, you'll start to see some of the thematic similarities. Lena, of course, had the machined billet enclosure.
Yes, which was very impressive too, I might add.
Which was something that came directly from Varèse.
From this. Have a look at this, folks.
There's a very good reason why people go and do billet enclosures, because electromagnetically this is the best way of stopping any radiation in or out.
It's essentially a Faraday cage, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So the performance there is much better. Thermally, this is the best way to do it. The resonance control, this is what you don't want plates that are attached together. This is how we do it now. Had a very interesting talk with the gentleman who led the mechanical design on this, also led the mechanical design on the Lena. We went very dCS on every aspect.
It looks like it too. I mean, it is a stunning bit of engineering, just looking at the inside of it, for goodness sake.
The ring DAC, our core technology, it radiates noise from the high switching noise from the ring DAC.
Yes.
But it's a very consistent noise. We know what the frequency is, we know how it radiates, we know how it propagates. So even the spacing of the bolts was done deliberately because we know what the wavelengths are. So everything has been there to operate complementary. Well, this sailed through EMC testing. I
bet it would have. I mean, it's so pretty to look at, even inside. My God, folks, the engineering here is stunning. And you were telling me about this on Thursday. This is one billet of aluminium. This starts off as a dirty, great big block of aluminium, and then a 5-axis CNC machine comes along and hollows all of this thing out. Tell us a bit more about that. So
we're lucky enough with Cambridgeshire that almost all of the UK's high-tech industry is, well, that's where it is. So we're spoilt for choice with machining places that wanted to work with us.
Awesome.
We have a bit of a philosophy that we want to be the specialist, and we think that's where you find the very best performance. We're not a specialist in machining.
Right.
So when you've got the absolute experts, then you cooperate with them.
Yes.
I'm sure that they wouldn't be very good at designing a DAC.
But as a pairing,
exactly,
you get this.
So they did a wonderful job. The other elements...
He uses this for bodybuilding, by the way, as well.
The other elements we took the opportunity to refine from the Vivaldi. We've been using with the same company that winds our transformers. But in Vivaldi, Rossini, Bartok, and Lena, we use one transformer.
Right.
Very specific. With the Varèse, we decided actually the requirements of the linear supplies and switching supplies are different.
Yes.
So the values of the transformers are different. We specialized each element. We still use the same clock oscillators that we use in the Lena, the Bartok, the Rossini, the Vivaldi. We've worked with the supplier for decades, so nothing there that we want to change.
No need to tip him out of the equation, or them.
And there might be some eagle eyes seeing that this particular board has got marker pen all over it, and this is.
I'll bring the camera in here so that we can actually show a little bit of that for you guys. Yes.
This one is quite a special Varèse mono DAC. This was one of a pair that were the first working prototypes. Red boards for us are prototypes. They don't go out to anyone's houses. That's work in progress. But this represented the very first time we had a tangible thing with the Varèse project.
Wow.
The development of Varèse, our team looked at the Vivaldi, which typically a Vivaldi system is 3 boxes.
Yes.
The way that people consume music now is it's largely streaming. If it's local network based or it's cloud based, it's
correct.
Streaming. So we have our Vivaldi upsampler, which provides streaming, and then all of the anti-aliasing filters and upsampling and whatnot. Pass it through to the DAC, and the 2 devices are synchronized by master clock. So a Vivaldi system, 3 boxes.
Yeah.
One of the areas that the team decided that we could improve upon was inside of the Vivaldi DAC, you have to perform final upsampling stage. Dual wire AES has a ceiling on what it will pass, which is 384 kilosamples a second or double speed DSD. The way that our ring DAC operates, that required another upsampling stage before we could modulate it into the format that runs the ring.
Okay.
So we decided that DACs will perform better if they don't have to do any extra processing.
True.
Now this necessitated a new interface, something that would be happy to carry the higher bandwidth.
Yes.
So the concept of improving the DACs, but that required something else to make that work. The other advantage we thought we could get with separating out the DACs into 2 enclosures was the crosstalk performance would be technically infinite.
Yeah, yeah.
There was another theory where we could make an improvement. So with a ring DAC, the array handles two channels of audio.
Yep.
In a Vivaldi DAC, it's handling a left and a right channel, and unless you listen to nothing but mono recordings, the channels are doing different things. They have different draws on the power supply. In theory, that could cause a ripple. There could be a change in the voltage that's then fed through the gates that are open.
Yep.
We're a thermometer-coded DAC, so we're a summing DAC. At high amplitude, that could cause some form of distortion. So with the Varèse, we took the opportunity that we still have 2 channels, but we run one in phase and one in inverted phase.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it completely balances the draw of the power supply.
Yes.
And that made that linearity perfect. I think it was a 10 decibel increase in linearity from that.
Wow.
So we differenced them. By differencing them, we get rid of anything common mode that affected it.
Yes.
So we found a 3 dB increase in signal to noise there.
Really?
Very clever.
That is very clever.
Worth doing.
Yeah.
The output stage was completely redesigned.
Was it?
We found a lot of the benefits we had from the new output stage. It was possible to backport that to the Vivaldi, to the Rossini, to the Bartok.
Oh, okay.
So that is the Apex version of Ring DAC.
Ah, perfect. So that's that trickle-down technology.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It was deeply frustrating that we couldn't tell people
what that was.
Say, right, what the upgrade is, it's the output stage from the new flagship that we can't tell you about.
That's funny.
So, it's like you say, it's already trickling down into the range before this even
was finished.
So, when we had the idea for the differential Ring DAC, the 2 mono DACs, taking away all the processing.
Yes.
The next challenge is the clock oscillators. With the clock protocol we use,
Yes.
you can ensure that they are beating in sync. The 2 DACs are beating in sync. The challenge is they have no way of identifying that they are beating in sync but decoding the correct sample as each other. So
Right.
they need a relative way of knowing that they are in time with each other,
Yes.
rather than just performing an operation at the same speed. So we went back to the drawing board with our clock interface. We have a patent that's been granted on the new way of doing it. We call it Tomix. And we've embedded timestamps on each samples. There's a really complex set of rules that everything follows to be able to decrypt things without introducing tones and correlations in the audio signal.
Yep.
So there's a huge amount of maths and coding that went into it. But we now have a system that synchronizes them, identifies if there's any difference in terms of latency.
Wow.
And the clock performance we're getting on the Varèse, even without the master clock, is greater than a Vivaldi with a master clock. So the Actus system is incredibly stable.
Wow.
So that explains how one box from a 3-box system suddenly became 2.
Yes, yes, yes.
The next area we felt that we could improve upon, the upsampler, the streamer in the Vivaldi series, essentially became 2 boxes that we call the core and the UI, the user interface. Now, the user interface is actually a bit of a misnomer because it's not just a screen in a huge enclosure. By splitting the upsampler into 2 boxes, we took everything that we identified as being electrically noisy, like the Bluetooth module, the Chromecast module, UPnP renderer, all of that is housed away from everything else that could pick up on that in its own enclosure.
Okay, wow.
The core, as we call it, the box that does all of our upsampling, our digital filtering, modulation, establishes the Actus clock signal, does everything. That constitutes the 4th box, and the 5th, of course, is the master clock. This is getting really heavy, so
you better
I'm
put it
going to pop that down.
Yes.
We from there we had our 5 boxes. We still had the challenge of interface. We didn't want to use audio over IP. We didn't want to use Ravenna. We didn't want to use Dante. We didn't want to use AS67 because we've got quite a good storied history of making protocols and interfaces. We thought that we could do it better. So we call it Actus. That is the means of connection between all the boxes. It's a really complex protocol. Requires a system or module that does the encryption, and encryption's everything to talk to each other. But it's a single cable that carries audio, asynchronous, high speed. It is the headroom on it. It should be, I might get egg on my face for this, but I'm going to say future-proof. There's no conceivable audio format that it would not be able to comfortably carry, whereas we're at the limit with dual wire AS. So we have audio, async, cool. We have 2 physically separated out twisted pairs that carry the clock. And then we have twisted pairs for a 2-way control bus.
Wow.
So Actus is audio, control, timing, universal system.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people are looking at it because the only tangible part is the wire. And we're not a cable specialist. We reached out to a cable specialist that was designed in cooperation with Limo in Switzerland. So you get to see it's a really nice locking plug. They went to town on that.
I'm looking forward to, I might film that after we get finished, and we'll go up there and have a look behind the back of it.
So it's a good plug. So I've explained a few of the challenges, and I hinted at this being a special board. This was the first time that all of those projects had come together. At that point, we'd had 4 years of development and spend with a cable, a protocol and a cable that were in development, the core, so the upsampler of the system with its own sort of proprietary bus that wasn't ready. We had the mono DACs. These were wheeled into the demo room. We had no casework. We hadn't finalised the casework design. They were kind of on breadboards with a benchtop power supply. And we had sort of wired them in. We didn't have the source, so we were using a Vivaldi upsampler as the source. But Christmas 2022, we got to listen to them for the first time, direct comparison against the whole Vivaldi system. And I wish you'd been there for the atmosphere at DCS.
I wished I had been too.
Because it suddenly went from, it was the light at the end of the tunnel. I think it's here.
That's
exciting. It's audibly, it's hard to describe what it does. So I can't wait until you hear it.
It was essentially a quantum leap forward from what you'd known to that point.
It was running our old mapping algorithm, so it was kneecapped. It didn't have a clock. It didn't have casework. It was
all of these things go. They're all links in the chain that make Varèse what it actually is, isn't it?
Exactly. You might be able to see on the camera as well. Just whilst I can see it out the corner of my eye. There are a few other mechanical changes that we decided upon that we would do during this project. So you can see this. This plate on the bottom. So that hides a constrained layer that's captured between the two. The feet, once they unscrew, there's a threaded Delrin piece underneath.
I did see that. You showed me that. That's impressive as well.
So that couples the foot to the base plate, but the constrained layer should help to turn any kinetic energy we get from loudspeakers, from environmental factors, and just help trap it, turn it into heat.
It's very inert. Like to feel this, it feels dull, and that's what you'd be wanting to get, so that you actually are absorbing any of those spurious vibrations that can get into the board and create issues.
The plate on top is actually another billet piece that we machined down. We decided that for absolute consistency and electromagnetic performance, this time around we'd machine in all of the standoffs. So these
are all machined into that plate.
All machined in, so everything that holds the board guarantees that we've got absolute consistency of how this behaves. It's
an exercise in the ultimate building of a product to the nth degree that is possible by today's standards, by the look of this.
So it is the state of the art. We were thrilled when we saw the first reviews come back from from the Absolute Sound and Hi-Fi News in the UK. Because when they've run their lab reports, they've printed with objective fact and measurement that this pushes the whole thing forwards. Team are now very busy because David has thrown down the other gauntlet. Obviously he's got two hands.
Unfortunately.
Now we're at the stage where the leaner DAC X, where with the chassis design, I started by talking about this, that represents how you take the Varèse concepts and you make it realistic. You make it something that people can live with in a normal home environment. And that's what we're most proud of. That's I think the art with the engineering team is how can you
trickle down the technology so that it's achievable in lower levels that are obviously more achievable for more of the public.
Exactly. Still has to be the same quality of components.
Yes.
Still has to be built in Cambridge. Still has to, if it's going to wear the DCS badge, it's got to be a DCS product.
That's stunning. Well, I mean, wow. That is. I'm sure my people on the channel are actually really excited about having Alasdair talk us through this. It is just, look, it's stunning to look at, even in its prototype stage. I mean, us audiophile dorks, we know what we're looking for here, and we can see the quality in the layout on this board. We can, Alasdair's talked about all this constrained layer dampening that's going on in here too, and that bit of billet, I mean, my goodness, I mean, that is stunning.
So that's louder than expected. The baffles as well on the Varèse. Let's try and get the light to just play with it.
Yes. Wow.
The Varèse, it's the way that the light interfaces with the curves.
Yes.
They look different in every space.
I've seen that when you walk around all those chassis in the display, in the static display. And I've tried to do that with my camera. Hopefully you guys can see that, because it is like shifting sands in an hourglass. It really just seems to almost be alive.
Ross, the lead mechanical engineer, he was adamant about the fact that we need to strip away all visual noise, because we print it on every product. It's only the music. We don't want anything to be a distraction. So we took away the displays from all of the other products.
Yes.
And in part because you need to control the display so it doesn't introduce any crosstalk back into the audio.
Yep.
But we wanted it to be a piece of sculptural art, something you didn't mind being in your home.
It's stunning.
And I think he's done a rather good job.
I think he's done a very good job. It really is a stunning piece of equipment. You guys can see it on the earlier stuff. I will go up and film a bit more now that we know a bit about this. Look, I just want to thank you guys for coming along and having a chat. It's just been, I know this was mainly talking about the DCS stuff, but Runa, I'd be very proud here. Young Alex is doing a fantastic job. He's been an absolute star in here. I've been watching him get around talking to people, and Dad should be pretty proud. So look, thank you both very much for coming on. They work so well together as well up in the room there. It's just sitting back in the background and watching you guys bounce off each other. It's entertainment as well as both for the ears and also for the eyes. So thank you both very, very much for coming on an Aussie Audiophile, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.